Render. So, Render's quite a new crypto. Broke into the top 100 nicely. And quite frankly, it looks like there's a lot more to come from this. This is a distributed solution for GPU rendering. If you're unfamiliar with that, I'm going to go into what that is and why this certainly has more gains to come. The question is how high. It's kind of, without having gone through a bull cycle, it's hard to establish, so we'll do our best here. Before I get into that though, guys, if you're new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I showed everyone me buying these coins up because I expected them to rocket up in price. You can see what the prices of all these coins were when I recorded my videos, and you can see the highs these coins hit less than a year and a half on, and what the profit would have been if you'd have thrown $100 into each one. And if you had just popped $100 into every single one, sat on them for a year and a half, done nothing else, just ignored them, and then 17 months later sold them, your profit from a $2,600 investment would have been over 123 grand, which is pretty nice. Now, I sold all of these, the market crashed. Since the market crashed, I've been buying up new cryptos. And the cryptos that I'm buying are the coins that I think can do 40x gains, 50x gains, 100x gains. And I share them on my website, which is copymycrypto.com. So anytime I find a coin that I think can do those kind of gains, I'll jump onto the site and I'll tell the members about them. I'll tell them what the coin is, what kinds of profits I think it can have, and what percentage of my money I'm putting in. And the members can copy along. This saves the members thousands of hours of time, energy. They don't have to read white papers. They don't have to learn about charts. They don't have to learn about new tech. They can literally make the same profits I do, but do no work whatsoever. So if that sounds interesting to you, go to copymycrypto.com now and just check out the site. On the site, you'll see what I've said in the past and what ended up happening, whether that was trying to encourage people to get out of the DeFi protocol that inevitably lost $500 million, whether it was explaining why Phantom was going to be a 100x coin. All of it's public record, along with what the members have announced it's been there. So go through it all, verify it all, and if you like what you see, guys, you should join. So Render. Now, as I said, only really, I suppose it has been through a bull cycle, hasn't it? So, been through one bull cycle, was lows of like 5 cents when it launched, hit highs of $7. However, through this sort of bear cycle that we've been in, it held ground really well in terms of price and actually rallied quite nicely. Now, it's worth noting with regards to Render, currently there are 371 million tokens. There's still another 160 million to be released. Now, Render is a distributed GPU rendering network. It's built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. It aims to connect artists and studios in need of GPU compute power with mining partners willing to rent out their GPU capabilities. And you've got to remember, with the miners have a ton of GPU power. That's pretty much how you're going to mine. There's very few cryptos these days that you can mine via CPU, and if you do, you're going to earn fuck all. So, very good idea. It was conceived in 2009 by Otoy Inc. CEO Jules Urbach and launched it in 2017. They held a public token sale in October of 2017, followed by a private sale in January of 2018 through to May of 2018. Wherein a total of 117 million Render were sold at a price of 25 cents per token. Now, during the private sale period, early adopters were onboarded onto the Render beta testnet, where beta node operators and artists work collaboratively with the team in building and testing the network upon its public launch in 2020. Now, Render is the token that's used by artists on the network to exchange for GPU power from GPU providers. And GPU power is vital for rendering. If you're unfamiliar with how long rendering takes, rendering is insanely long. For the love of God. So, this is an example of how long it would take to render 1 minute, a 1 minute video. So, no effects, just editing, basic audio, you're talking about a minute. If you're adding some transition, title effects, graphics, that's 2 minutes. Adding color grading, lens flare, sky replacement, that's 5 minutes. Footage stabilization, denoising, that's 10 minutes. All of that combined in a 4K video, that's 30 minutes for a 1 minute clip. And that's just with the video element. Like, you're not talking about, anything else. You're just talking about the video requirements there. And it's just a fascinating idea because fundamentally, one thing that we do know, miners had to spend thousands of dollars on the mining equipment to mine whichever proof of work crypto they wanted. And as a result, they have spare power. And they can supply that and get paid for doing so. It's given miners an alternative use case for the rigs that they've effectively set up. And here's the thing. Authoring, publishing state-of-the-art graphics is an incredible challenge that grows each day. Obviously, the developments in terms of videography over the past, and that's graphics and everything else, over the past 20 years has been staggering. If you watch the old Spider-Man movie that had Tobey Maguire in versus the new one, it's like night and day in terms of difference. So the future demand for advanced rendering will lead to more complexity and require higher resolution and more interactivity. So Render resolves this issue. So making next generation 3D rendering widely accessible for the content demands of immersive media requires huge increases in computing scale. It's only possible through a decentralized global network, which is what Render provides. They also give a better use of GPU power. Decentralized GPU resources are wasted in proof of work mining. Render unlocks the full productive potential for decentralized GPU computing. And also they've got the additional benefit of the digital rights management. So next-gen immersive media and artificial intelligence require new forms of authentication and provenance. And the Render network provides granular digital rights management through on-chain traceability of a node-based graph. So again, what this does is ensure that any artist is not going to get plagiarized. It ensures that the true creator of the artwork, whether that's a video, whether that's actual artistic piece of work, whether that's a game, is going to be digitally recognized as the person is going to be digitally recognized as the creator. And the use cases for Render are huge because it's not just visual, it's not just videos. You've got the augmented reality, you've got virtual reality, and you've got gaming. The amount of GPU power required for rendering is staggering, and they've created something that actually works very, very effectively. The fact that you have partners to render like J.J. Abrams, like Beeple, like Brendan Ike, who's the founder of Brave. You've got real big names here attached to this project. Sire, like one of the co-founder of Sire as well. This is a fantastic idea and hugely necessary in the ever-growing sort of digital gaming world, the videography, or the new movies or whatever that we're seeing. There has never been such a need for huge amounts of GPU power, because simply put, rendering can't be done on a CPU. It can in theory, but you're talking about changing that time scale of say 30 minutes for a 1 minute video to 3, 4, 5 hours. It's just impossible. And that's why Render has such an ability to succeed here. And actually, when I think about what price this is going to hit, $10 is sort of where I look, purely because its all-time high was around $7. It's about $8.76, so you're talking about 20% or so higher. But let's be honest, in an industry like gaming, which is one of the biggest industries in the world that requires rendering all the damn time, in industries like the movie industry or the television industry that require rendering all the time, again, huge use case here. You've got J.J. Abrams as one of the partners, who's an enormous name in the movie industry. This is one where, look, I think initial target is $10. Initial target is $10. But I honestly could see this being a $100 coin. I actually could, because the thing is it's going to depend on the names that they bring in, and I don't mean advisors. I mean, if Render can announce, hypothetical, right? But say Render announce that they have supplied the GPU power to do to allow the rendering of, say, the next DC movie or the next Marvel movie. Render would moon. It would just moon off of association. And the thing is I think we probably are going to see elements of that. You know, in theory, I mean, J.J. Abrams, I'm definitely getting this right? J.J. Abrams was creator of Firefly and Serenity and all of that, right? I'm double checking that because it's now bothering me. Yeah, because he did Buffy as well, didn't he? Am I right? Maybe not Buffy. J.J. Abrams. Alias. Filmography. Okay. Massive name. I've actually got it wrong, man. I genuinely thought he had a much bigger role. Oh, no. No, yeah, he didn't have a role in Fire. I've gotten confused with someone. Who the hell have I gotten confused with? Anyway, massive name because he's in this, he did all the Star Treks. Now, as an example of a friggin' movie franchise, or TV franchise, hell even, that needs an enormous amount of rendering, there's one. And if you have a huge franchise that announces that they have managed to create and produce the movie, and they have utilized the Renders network for their to access the GPU power required for the rendering. I can't imagine they'd present it like that, but if they did, we would be looking at something that could absolutely just go wild. Initial target has to be around $10, but this is not going to be a shocker if this bangs up to like $100. It really wouldn't. It would be very, very, very high, don't get me wrong. But Joss Whedon, that's who I'm getting J.J. Abrams confused with. Joss Whedon, my brain. Joss Whedon's the guy that did Buffy and all that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. If they get a big announcement that they've partnered with some either big gaming franchise or company or a movie company, this goes insane. Initial target has to be $10 because that would still put it at a $3.8 billion market cap, which is still huge. But yeah, a partnership with a massive franchise, this goes to the moon, and it's going to be insanely profitable for a lot of people. But it's that kind of speculative play. But once it breaks through $10, then we look again. I think there's a solid, I do expect it to break past $10, but that's the initial target it's got to have. But let me know what you guys think. Could you see, it would be a murky ground, but could you see J.J. Abrams as an example announcing that Render was in some way used in the next Star Trek as an example? Let me know in the comments down below. And guys, if you just want to take the work out of your crypto investing, if you want to make the exact same profits I do, except do no work whatsoever, that's what copymycrypto.com is. It's where I dive into the markets every day, I find coins that are winners, and when I do, I get in on them. And what I'll do is I'll jump up to my site, I'll tell the members what the coin is, what profits it can have, what percentage of my money I'm putting in, and they can copy along. There is literally no work for the members. Now, they will save thousands and thousands of hours of time because they don't have to do the research, they don't have to dive into the white papers, the markets, anything like that. So go onto the site, copymycrypto.com, there's a link in the description. Have a look at what I've said in the past and what happened, whether that's Phantom, when no one was talking about Phantom being a huge gainer, whether that's trying to encourage people to get out of the DeFi protocol that crashed and lost $500 million. Whether you just want to see what the members have earned, all of it's public record. So have a look through it, verify it all, and if you like what you see, guys, you should join, and I'll see you there. And that's it from me. Take care. Bye-bye.